The Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers met for the third time on Saturday night in prime time. And the Baltimore Ravens held court at home, getting their first victory in the postseason over the Pittsburgh Steelers in over 10 years. And now will advance to the divisional round and await the results. Will they be going to Buffalo? Or will Houston be coming to Baltimore? It's the official Baltimore Ravens postgame show right here on the Flex Zone podcast. The Late Show. Stiff on that subscribe button. Tackle that thumbs up. Leave us a like. Blitz that bell. Vote on the poll. Who was the MVP today? Sound off in the comment section. Let us know your thoughts. And who do you want to see the Ravens face next? It is the official Baltimore Ravens post-game show here on the Flex Zone podcast. Raj, only place giving you that Ravens playoff coverage and sports. How you want it?
When you need it.
Back again with another post-game show. A happy recap as the Baltimore Ravens defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers 28-14. Will advance to the divisional round. We'll wait to see do they go to Buffalo or Houston comes to Baltimore. Either on next Saturday or next Sunday. The social media producer's with me. He was the man of the people. He braved the cold. I think he's still defrosting. The one and only Big Raj. What's going on, my guy?
No bread, no water, just me.
Finish him, Daddy.
That's one big son of a bitch! Finger licking good special. That's what I'm talking about.
Raj, how you feeling? Did you defrost? And how was the atmosphere down at the bank?
Hey, man, I still got my hot hands in my hands. So I'm still defrosting. The atmosphere was great. The Steelers fans, man, they came out, but they was deflated from jump. It wasn't really nothing going crazy down there. I think they knew what time it was. And the Ravens came out and they handled their business. But the atmosphere was great, man. It was great.
Well, Raj, let's get into it. You came into this game a little nervous, obviously playing a divisional rival, playing the Steelers. We know each game is crazy. It comes down to the last few minutes, few seconds. The Ravens came into this game on fire. The Steelers came into this game ice cold, colder than the weather outside. And the Ravens held serve today, win 28-14. Handle business, advance to the divisional round. What are your initial thoughts, and what did you see out there today from this team, and what do you possibly see with them going forward? Good and bad and ugly.
Well, they came out on fire. That's a good thing. They started out strong. Defensively, they was shutting down the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they was confusing them with a lot of mismanaged run plays with Lamar Jackson early. And then they fed Derrick Henry as they needed to feed him. And he got going a lot in that second quarter. But it was just like a collective effort today. No one man, well, besides Derrick Henry. That was like everybody was getting involved. We even seen guys that we never seen before, like Sims was getting, I think, yards, and Anthony Miller was injected into the game, and he was just getting a couple catches, and you had your one catch from Aguilar that you have every game, and then Rashad Bateman had like 2 catches and he had a touchdown, and Mark Andrews got involved as well, and Isaiah Likely everybody had a catch, everybody was involved in some way. Justice Hill came back, did his thing today. It was just like a collective effort. It wasn't like all one person. It just wasn't just Lamar out there having to be Superman or Derrick Henry having to carry the entire load. It was everybody was chipping in, everybody was doing what they needed to do to keep the Steelers off the field because they dominated time of possession today, dominated it, and I'm pretty sure Mike Tomlin was looking like that the entire game. But yeah, they just dominated them for real from jump, and they just kept the pressure on them, and until the end of the game.
Let's start with Lamar Jackson, MV3. We know it's all about the playoffs with Lamar. Come into this game 2-4, 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, playing a team he struggled against in the past. Sets up nicely to get them in the wild card round. Lamar Jackson today, 16 of 21, 175 yards, 2 touchdowns, only sacked once, 132 quarterback rating, 84.2 QBR. And he really didn't even have to throw that much, Raj, because we'll get to the running game in a second. But he did it not only with his arm, but with his legs. 15 carries, 81 yards, 5.4 an attempt, 20-yard long. No hesitation today like we saw last year in the AFC Championship game. Whatever his mother said to him a few weeks back must have stuck.
I mean, he came out on fire. Like I said before, he was using his legs early. They had them boys running, and he pretty much softened everybody up for Derrick Henry. And then once Derrick Henry got going, it was pretty much like they couldn't stop him. So Lamar Jackson was very accurate today. He might have missed like maybe 1 or 2 throws. You know what happens. But like I said, he was getting everybody involved. Everybody had a catch. He was moving his legs. The offensive line was playing pretty well. Outside of Stanley having those 2 penalties. And I think Rosengarten had 1 as well. But other than that, they just did what they were supposed to do. They blocked well. They opened up holes for the run game. And they ran, and I think they ran the ball 299 times. Well, they had 299 yards overall, almost close to 300. But yeah, they was killing it, man. Lamar Jackson was on fire, like I said before. He didn't have to have one of those, 300-yard games or nothing like that. He just took what the defense gave him, fed Derrick Henry as he needs to, and got the job done. Great, but it's funny.
Well, Raj, let's get to Derrick Henry. This is why we got him. Obviously, over 1,900 yards in the regular season. I don't think anybody saw that coming. But what we got for is December, January, cold weather, running downhill, making it hard for guys to tackle him in this type of weather, wearing teams down. 26 carries, 186 yards, 7.2 an attempt, 2 touchdowns, 44-yard long of a touchdown. Passing, I think he's now, 6th all-time in rushing in the playoffs. Like you said, 298 yards rushing as a team. Derrick Henry getting it done today.
Yeah, man, he was he was the MVP of today's game. I mean, Lamar had a great game.
That's one big son of a bitch! No
Yeah.
bread, no water, just me.
And he finished him. He finished him, Daddy. He did.
Finish him, Daddy.
There you go. Yeah, he did. He finished them off, man. I never seen nobody run like that before in my entire life, up close and personal. This entire season has been a microcosm of what a great running back can do for your squad, man. Lamar Jackson has not really played with the caliber of running back that he's played with Derrick Henry. And it just shows, man, like when Derrick is going, man, Lamar doesn't have to do too much. He really doesn't. He doesn't have to press. He doesn't have to carry the load, like I said before. You just give it to your 250-pound complete monster as he runs over people, stiff arms everybody, and he softens their defense up, because they're afraid to tackle him. So that brother has been going crazy this entire season. I don't know what's gotten into him. He's been killing it, and at the way he's going, I don't think anybody can stop him at this point. But he was fantastic, man. He was running away from dudes. He was running over dudes. He was throwing dudes left and right. It like I said before, Lamar has never played with a guy like this. Mark Ingram might have came close in 2019, but he was never this great. Yeah. Isaiah know what time it was. They all playing in the back. But yeah, man, it was magnificent. It was chef's kiss how he ran over the Steelers today.
The offensive line, Raj. We've questioned it all coming into the season. We see how good they've become. Unfortunately, Joe D'Alessandro, the offensive line coach, passes away. George Warhawk comes in. They struggle a little bit in the beginning. They make a little tinkers here and there. They have one of the better offensive lines maybe in the playoff field. And Falele, Rosengarten today, you didn't even hear TJ Watt's name. I think I go to the box or TJ Watt. What did he have? Wow, I don't see him. I don't think TJ Watt had any tackles or anything. I'm going to double check that. But how about the offensive line? We know Stanley had a few penalties, but he's been steady at it this year. Linderbaum, Pro Bowler. McCary did his thing today, and this refereeing crew was known to call a lot of holdings. Then Steelers got a lot of those calls on the defensive side, but the offensive line, Raj.
They were great. They were, like I said, I mean, they ran the ball for 299 yards. I mean, and then Lamar had a lot of time to throw the football. He wasn't really missing Zay Flowers today because he was giving the ball to everybody. He was passing it to everyone. They're going to be stroking the hell out of Lamar this entire week, him and Derrick Henry combined, because they put on the show. So the offensive line was great. They didn't give up. They only gave up 1 sack, and I think that's because Lamar held the ball too long on that particular play. But other than that, you know, they did their thing, man. They was opening holes. They was blocking and they was pulling. They was doing everything they needed to do to slow down the Steelers defense. And like you said, TJ Watt was a non-factor today. And here's the kicker. Not one fumble. They didn't fumble at all against the Steelers. Yes. They didn't fumble at all, man. And I'm so proud of them because every time we see a Steelers, somebody's fumbling. Somebody's either Lamar's fumbling or a wide receiver's fumbling or they dropping the football. None of that happened today. None of that happened. Everybody caught the ball. Everybody, well, except that one play. Tylan Wallace, he dropped it, but it is what it is. But everybody caught the ball except him. No fumbles. And they kept it pushing. So they played, like I said, they played an extremely great game. They could have put more points on the board if they really wanted to. Like I thought they took it light on them today. After they put up 21 in the first half, they was like, you know, they scored 7 points. They was like, okay, we'll score 7 points. They scored another 7 points, and the defense smacked them in the mouth. But yeah, man, I just thought that they came out there whooping ass early, and they just was cruising the rest of the game.
Injury-wise, no major injuries are reported, but we know no Zay Flowers. Raj, how do you feel about the Zay Flowers injury? Potentially now with another week to return, saying he's in a knee brace. But look at the receiving core. Likely 3 for 53. Andrews 2 for 27. Aguilar 1 for 25. Bateman 2 for 24 with a touchdown. Tylan Wallace 1 for 21. Justice Hill 4 for 13. And like you mentioned, Anthony Miller 3 for 12 as well. And I believe they even gave Steven Sims a carry, but you know, it was like a pass, but a carry for 15 yards. What do you think about the receiving core today, Raj? Stepping up with no Zay, doing enough to get on by.
Like I said, they were cool. They were cool. They were solid. You know, there wasn't one person just getting the ball. It was spread out to everybody that was playing. I still would like to see Zay back though, because we're about to. I mean,
they're going to need him.
Yeah, we might have to play the Bills or the Denver Broncos. So that brother still has to come back. We got by this week, and you know, hats off to the wide receiving core. But I mean, every week, every game is different, and we ain't gonna be running the ball, you know, for 299 yards against any other team. So Zay is definitely needed. Hopefully, he's back at practice sometime this week, and we can keep it moving from there. But for today, the wide receiving core was good enough, and they got the job done. Isaiah likely had the most yards, as you can see. Mark Andrews, Aguilar, and Bateman had the same almost amount of yards, and Tylan Wallace had one big, you know, catch for 21 yards. So everybody was solid, man. Everybody that needed to catch the football caught it. and they made big plays when they caught it. So that's all you can ask from your receiving core in a playoff game is to get open, catch the football, and keep that chain moving.
Let's go to defense, Raj, while we're on a roll. Darius Washington, 7 tackles. Roquan Smith, 5. Matabike with 2 sacks. Humphrey, 4 tackles. Odafe Owe with another sack. Michael Pierce playing well with another sack. Van Noy with some pressures. Even Ajabo had a tackle as well. We saw TJ Tampa, Travis Jones, a little bit of everybody. Kyle Hamilton with 3 tackles. What did you think about the defense? I know they gave up 14 points in the third quarter, but obviously that was also on Brandon Stevens mainly. But what do you think about the defense, and can those issues be corrected moving forward? Because we're going to face a high-powered offense, whomever we play next.
I thought they were solid in the first half. They gave up no points. They was pretty much stopping them every time they needed to. And then, Pittsburgh made some adjustments at halftime, started throwing the football deep, throwing moon balls, as Russell Wilson likes to do from time to time. And, George Pickens got one of them and got a touchdown. And then, the other one with Van Jefferson for a touchdown. And then, they tried to sprinkle in Justin Fields, every now and again to make a big play, but it really didn't work. They tried their best. I'm not even gonna sit here and get on them too much. I mean, Russell Wilson didn't even play that bad, honestly. They just don't have a running game. They only ran the ball, I think, for 29 yards today, and they only have like one good wide receiver that can really get open, and that's Pickens. So they have a lot of pieces that they need. It showed these last 5 to 6 games. I mean, they done lost every one of them to better teams. So they need offense. They need offensive firepower. We'll see what happens in the offseason with the Steelers, but I thought Russell was all right. He didn't play terrible. He didn't play bad. It's just that the Ravens they're just a better team, man. And they just have better weapons, better firepower, and better defense. So it'd be like that sometimes. They would know. They was on the other end of beating us all those times and sending us home.
Yeah, Russell Wilson, 20 of 29, 270 yards, 2 touchdowns. Sacked 4 times, though. Their offensive line wasn't very good, but Najee Harris only 6 for 17. Jalen Warren, 2 for 6. Wilson, 3 for 6. He doesn't have that explosiveness outside the pocket like he used to get out and get away. So only 11, like you said, 11 carries, 29 yards. Pickens, 5 for 87. Harris, 3 for 41. Van Jefferson, 2 for 37. Mike Williams, 1 for 37. Calvin Austin, 1 for 25. Jalen Warren, 4 for 19. Pat Frymuth, 3 for 15. Really nothing outside of the Pickens plays, and that was the largest. And then real quick, Raj, Russell Wilson's a free agent. Justin Fields a free agent. Najee Harris is a free agent. Tackle Dan Moore's a free agent. Dante Jackson on the defensive side is a free agent. The corner, Mike Williams, Van Jefferson, the wide receivers are free agents. Landon Roberts, linebacker. James Daniels, a guard. DeMonte Casey, a safety. Michael Pruitt, a tight end. Cameron Sutton, a cornerback. C.J. Henderson, another cornerback, and another guard. Nate Herbig are all free agents for the Steelers. So a lot of decisions to be made in Pittsburgh. Do they keep Arthur Smith as the offensive coordinator? They're a team in some flux a little bit.
They're in a team. They're in a team of transition. They have a lot of decisions to make. I'm not sure what's going to happen with a lot of those people, but it's the Steelers, so I'm pretty sure they'll find a way. They always do. They're always like a pest, to us and everybody else in the division. So whatever they do, if they decide to get rid of half of the people or bring half of the people back, they're going to pretty much, have a solid draft and, maybe draft a running back. Maybe,
pick at 20.
Yeah, well, they pick at 20, but it doesn't really matter. They're still going to find somebody that can play. So,
Lord, Mr.
And
Genty from Boise State. Mr. Genty from Boise State.
I mean, he might be at 20. I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes a Pittsburgh Steeler, or if they go out there and get a nice, wide receiver to help, Pickens out. But
yeah,
if I'm them, I give Russell another year. I give him another year. He wasn't bad this year. He played pretty well when he was in there. I just think they need more firepower on the outside and a decent running game, and then they'll be right back in it again. So that's just my thoughts on the Steelers. Oh, y'all know you trying to say Doc Rivers
I was
is
about to
Mike
ask you
Tomlin.
about that because you always say that about Harbaugh, but I mean, look at this
I
guy.
mean, they both can be Doc Rivers. I mean, they only both won one Super Bowl and haven't really done anything else after that. But shout out to Harbaugh today. Got to give him his props. He had his team ready to go, fired up.
So you're saying they
Yeah,
weren't tight this week? They
they
weren't
weren't
tight?
tight. They weren't tight at all. They came out for plan and they executed like every play that they needed to. So I got to give Coach props where props is due because he came in with a belt and he started whipping that ass early, often. Or should I say then, now, and hopefully forever to the Steelers. There you go.
What was up with Tomlin punting? Yeah, it was a lot of short yardage situations, 4th down and 4th and inches. He punted like you have nothing else to play for. There's no tomorrow. Run the damn ball like you said. You can't get an inch or do a tush push like the Ravens were doing with the Andrews. What I don't get what's going on. I don't
They
understand.
they had no faith in Najee Harris, man. They had no faith in that guy. that guy
Why?
is
He's not bad.
he's not, but you can just tell that they don't have no faith running the football when he's on the field,
Wow. That's
especially
crazy.
playing against teams like Kansas City, teams like the Ravens, top tier teams that can stop the run.
That's crazy.
So I mean, I get it. And there's a lot of respect, but when we needed to go for it on 4th down, Harbaugh was like, "Go for it," and they
Right.
went for it and they got it, and they got a penalty. So that just goes to show you, sometimes Harbaugh can outcoach Mike Tomlin as well.
Hey, Harbaugh coach win. Tomlin coach to not lose. So he was a little scared there. What do you think about special teams, Raj? Tucker only had to kick extra points today. They had a couple of, I think they had a fumble, but they recovered it on a punt. Steven Sims. And that's pretty much that. Jordan Stout punts were pretty good. One inside the 20, 45.8 per attempt. Anything on the special teams aspect? Kept them out of field goal range with Boswell as well.
Yeah, he didn't do anything, which is kind of weird. But yeah, the Ravens, when Ravens are scoring touchdowns, we don't care to see Justin Tucker kick field goals. So they did what they were supposed to do in that aspect. Special teams was pretty good. Steven Sims, yeah, he had a muff punt, but he kept it, and I wish he would have went into the end zone, but he didn't, and he just came out. But it didn't hurt the Ravens; they still scored a touchdown off of it, so it really didn't matter. But still, yeah, special teams was all right. It was good. It was good. They didn't do anything crazy. They didn't hurt the team. So that's all that really matters, is that they didn't that the other team didn't make a playoff of our almost mistakes.
With the win today, Harbaugh now ties Mike Holmgren, who was with Green Bay and Seattle. Remember the great Mike Holmgren, with 13 wins in the playoff. And then next is Chuck Noll with Pittsburgh with 16. So now with 13, if he gets to the Super Bowl, that would be potentially 16 and wins it. So he could tie Chuck Noll potentially, right? So how about Harbaugh? He's going to keep climbing up this list, it looks like.
I mean, yeah, he's just making his case for the Hall of Fame. I mean, we all know that that's where he's going to be headed to when he's done with the Ravens. People, we give him a hard time here. We don't want him here half the time, but we can't deny that the man knows how to get the team to the playoffs. He's finally starting to win playoff games, and he is a proven winner. This is a fact because he has a Super Bowl under his belt. But it's just, we're going to see what happens next week. We're not going to get too ahead of ourselves. We got to see who we play, either it's Buffalo or Denver. Hopefully he can get another win, that we can get back to the promised land of the AFC Championship game, and then we see where we go from there. But either way, John Harbaugh has had a phenomenal career as a head coach for the Baltimore Ravens, and he's gotten some of the best talent he's ever had and he's utilizing them very extremely well. So I can't hate on the man at this point. He just got to continue to keep doing what he does, and hopefully get the job done.
John Harbaugh is now one of 5 coaches to lead his team to the postseason at least 12 times in his first 17 seasons, joining Pete Carroll, Bud Grant, Mike Holmgren, and Mike McCarthy. 12 playoff berths for the Ravens since 2008 ties Kansas City and New England for the NFL's second most, trailing only Green Bay with 13. The Ravens 6 are one of 4 teams, Kansas City 7, Buffalo 6, and Philly 6 to make the playoffs in at least 6 of the past 7 seasons. And now Derrick Henry has 4 100-yard postseason games. Marshawn Lynch leads with 6. You see Lamar in there with 3 also. In rushing yards per game, that's going to go up for Derrick Henry with 180 plus. So he's chasing Arian Foster, John Riggins, and Terrell Davis. So climbing up the history books there. Raj, let's look ahead to the divisional game a little bit. It will be either Buffalo or Houston, depending on who wins. Obviously, if Denver wins, they go straight to Kansas City. Houston would then come here. If Buffalo wins, Ravens go to Buffalo. Probably, I'm guessing, next weekend on a Saturday or Sunday primetime.
Yeah, I picked Buffalo to win. I think they're going to win. I could be wrong. Maybe Denver might, surprise us and pull out a win in Buffalo. But as of right now, I think Josh Allen, has something to prove. So he's going to go out there, give it his best, and he's going to do what he's supposed to do. And I think the Ravens will go in Buffalo, and we'll have a matchup with them again. And we will see what happens during the week. I don't give no predictions right now, but we're gonna fight hard. If either team, we're fighting hard. It doesn't matter. It's just like I said before in this game. Are we gonna get the same Ravens we got today? If we can get that same Raven team that we got today, we can beat anybody. But it just depends on who shows up. So, we'll see.
Yeah, we will be probably on tomorrow at some point, maybe after the Buffalo and Denver game, because then we'll kind of know who they play and kind of break that down, our initial thoughts on that as well. Raj, any other thoughts? Let's real quick. Earlier today, we did see the Houston Texans defeat the Los Angeles Chargers. So one of the hardballs not doing well. The Chargers did not win a playoff game since 2010, where they actually beat the Ravens, lose to the Texans, which I did predict. I didn't just happen this way, but Texans win 30.
Going in and out, Byron. I can't hear you.
Going in and out. Okay.
Nice sound better.
Okay. Sorry about that. Texans beat the Chargers, Raj.
Yeah. The Texans beat the Chargers. I seen bits and pieces of it. It was a close game for a while. It was really ugly until the third or fourth quarter. Justin Herbert, I think threw 4 interceptions, I believe, in this. I don't be honest with you. I don't know why the hell they got rid of Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. I don't understand why they let all their weapons go. They did. That's what they needed today. They needed them wide receivers, and he up there throwing to Quentin Johnston, who didn't catch anything today. Lad McConkey is nice. He's cool, but it's just like, dog. It's like you're doing me a disservice by not giving me anybody to really throw to, and then you still got, Gus Edwards and JK. And JK, I guess he was playing, or I don't know. And Gus is, beyond done at this point. So I don't know. They need to rebuild the weapons around him. I'm not gonna give him an excuse though, because he shouldn't have threw 4 interceptions. But you could tell what the problem was in this particular game, is that he didn't really have anybody to throw to, nobody to really believe in. And like I said, JK and Gus were god awful. So yeah, man. We got a lot more work to do with the Chargers. Hopefully they get their act together. This was a good first year for Jim. Since he just got there, they made the playoffs, which is great. But they're gonna need some more work on that offensive side of football. if Justin Herbert's going to have a chance to actually really do something.
Yeah, Raj. 0-2 in the playoffs for Herbert. The 27-0 blown lead to the Jaguars a few years back, and now losing again in the playoffs. And Harbaugh, Giro, you think Giro's going to be the guy, the offensive guy? Will he make it through the offseason? I guess they're going to keep him maybe.
I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with him. Can't really blame this on him, but you kind of can because that's what we used to do. So, like I said, man, I like JK. JK's cool, but he just never can stay healthy. And Gus is, like I said, is he's okay, but he's not. He's just not the guy. And clearly, as you can see, all those times when we didn't use them, they really used them in today's playoff game. So there you go.
Well, Raj, that is pretty much all we got for tonight. Ravens defeat the Steelers 28-14, advance to the divisional round. We'll see what happens and who they play next, Raj. Any final thoughts from you?
Yeah, man, today was a good day for the Baltimore Ravens. The first step in these playoffs. They played a great game. They didn't really have to do too much, which is always a good thing. I just, hope that whoever they play next, they continue on this path. They continue playing their style of football. They run the football. Hopefully, they continue to keep giving the ball to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry let Lamar Jackson do his thing on the ground. Sprinkle a little Rashad Bateman, sprinkle a little Nelson Aguilar, a little Justice Hill, Andrews, and hopefully Zay comes back. He'll add a boost to the team as well. And, they continue to keep, doing what they do. Because if they continue to play like they're playing, I think they're the best team in football. Clearly, nobody can run the football like them. Nobody can run the football like Derrick Henry. Clearly, the man is on a mission right now, and as long as they do what they're supposed to do, as long as they're not committing penalties and being silly, they can do whatever they need to do. So it was just, like I said, this was a good first step, to get the nerves out, to get the jitters out. They played in front of the home crowd. Had Ray Lewis there.
I was gonna say, did you like seeing Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, Nada, 2 Chainz was in the building?
Yeah, 2 Chainz was there. Yeah, man, it was lovely.
The Olympic kid, I think, the one Olympic track kid, I think.
Yep. Everybody was in the building. The Olympic track kid, all those people were there. So, yeah, man, they did this. This was a good night for the Baltimore Ravens. A good night. So I can't wait to hear all the clowns on ESPN and on Fox, say, "Oh my God, Lamar looks so phenomenal," and we continue to pump our heads up or whatever.
Nah, they'll be smooching Derrick Henry.
Yeah, of course. Nick, Fat Nose Right will be smooching on Derrick Henry and, ass kissing everybody else except Lamar. So there you go.
Well, Raj, let the people know how to keep up with us and what we do on this channel.
If you're new to the channel, if you're new to the Flex Zone podcast, please hit that like and subscribe button. We do Ravens post-game shows, previews. We do Commanders post-game shows and previews. We talk about wrestling on this channel. We do a lot of things. So if you like any type of sport, if you like football, if you like to laugh, hit that like and subscribe button.
Appreciate that, Raj. We will be here tomorrow with the Washington Commanders post-game show, and probably after the Bills and Broncos, breaking down the Ravens' next matchup. We may get a time and date. I'm guessing it's going to be on CBS, looking for prime time. I think it's the Sunday night game next week. It's like 6:30, so maybe we get that game. So we'll see. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Big Raj, social media producer, makes the streams pristine, man of the people. Maybe he may be at the bank again one more time this year. We shall see.
Probably not.
Us at Road Shows truly. Check out the Commanders preview. Check out the SmackDown live stream, AEW live stream. We got the Ravens preview. We got the Ravens pregame show. I was here before the game as well. Gave you a little taste. Raj checked them from the stadium. We got to see the actual stadium. Monday Night Raw. We were live for Netflix. We did a flagship podcast on Tuesday. NXT as well. Maryland content in there. We'll get Maryland content coming up this week. So, and more special content coming. Maybe a big guest coming on Monday. We'll keep you guys posted on that as well. And other than that, Raj, I think that's pretty much all we got.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Number 8, baby. Got the job
Yes.
done.
Yes, we will be here after each Ravens post-season game. There you go. There you go.
There you go. Number 8 got the job done. So we're going to keep it moving. Keep it popping.
Yes, sir. For Big Raj, God's favorite host, signing off. Thank you guys for staying up late with us. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, and vote on the poll. Who was the MVP today? You can super chat us. Hit us up on the Flex Zone 1 on Cash App, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, the Flex Zone 1. And for however many days left, TikTok, the Flex Zone Podcast, Raj. Guess that's getting ready to leave too, possibly.
I mean, by the 19th, if it's not renewed by our government, yes, that's going to be out of here.
Well, if you're a TikTok content creator, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, flexon1@gmail.com. We're right here on YouTube each and every day, just about giving you sports how you want it, Raj.
When you need it.
Ravens win. Happy recap. Defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers 28-14. Advance to the divisional round. And we'll be here to talk about it right here on the Flex Zone Podcast. Throw your ones up. Acknowledge us. Ravens get the victory. Lamar Jackson silencing the critics for at least one more week. And Derrick Henry continuing running towards the record books. Have a good night, everybody, or good morning. Happy Sunday. We'll see you someday. More content on the channel and more Ravens content on the Flex Zone Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night. Peace.